Okay, you guys, how is everyone this evening? I hope you can hear me loud and clear. This is Athena DeVonne with Coalesce Creations, one of your tutors here at QC Event Planning School. So ahead of time, I am going to go ahead and say, this is the test. This is the first time we are using this system. GoToWebinar, so we're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time if there are some technical issues. There's already a difference because this is on my laptop versus my phone, so the clarity of video isn't exactly the same. But you guys hopefully can see me, so we should go from there. So I'm hoping everyone can see and hear. I am figuring this out with you guys at the same time. I'm trying to see if I can see the chat. So as everyone is logging on, I'm going to look at this too, just to make sure we are all good to go. I'm hoping everyone can see me and hear me. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to type that in there. 2 and give control keyword mouse utility. Okay, I think we are good. Let's see here, attendees. It looks like we have everyone kind of logging in right now. I'm able to see how many people have registered and how many people are logging on. So I do see we have quite a few people here. So I will see if we can go ahead and get started in just a minute. You guys, give me 1 second. I'm making sure you guys can hear me, see me. Okay, there's the chat. So let me see if I can see what you guys are saying. We do have staff from QC on here, and they are going to actually put the specials and promotions that QC has going on right now in the chat. We always want to make sure you guys get the information when we do a webinar. So in the chat, they will have that available for you. So I don't have to mention / repeat it or mess it up as I have done in the past before. So let's see here. If you guys are here, could you go in the chat and say hello and your name and where you're from, just so I can see if, number one, the chat is working, and then number two, if you can hear me and see me. I'm using a microphone instead of my laptop, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So if you guys will write in that chat box. Let me see, am I missing something here? It says people can hear you, people can see you. I hope so. No one can see your screen. Okay, I suppose doing a screen share. Don't see anyone typing yet. So if you guys are typing, then I'm not seeing it, which means maybe I am doing something wrong. So I'm gonna take 1 second to see if I can figure this out, and then we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Because I understand your guys' time is just as precious as mine. And I want to make sure we get this out because the new year 2019 is coming and we need to be ready to go. Chat. You guys should be able to see the chat box. It should be in the top right-hand corner. That should say chat. So let's see here. What do QC staff? Can you guys write in the chat? Because so far I'm not seeing anything come through. So I'm hoping everyone can hear and see me, but I don't know yet because I haven't gotten any kind of confirmation that anyone can hear or see me. Because I can't see everyone. I can't see anyone saying anything. And I would like to, because that's how I like to engage with everybody. Let's see here. Oh, okay, in the questions. Okay, let's see here. Where's questions? Here it is. Okay, you guys, QC staff was awesome to let me know they think everyone is commenting in the question section and not the chat. Okay, QC Event School said yes. Okay, perfect. Now that I know we're confirmed, I think we should just go ahead and go on because they did confirm they can hear. I'm going to go to the question section because QC said they think that that is where it's coming from. So you guys should see a section that says questions and then a section that says chat. So in the questions, it's just going to show me a question. Hey, Tammy, you can hear me good? Okay, awesome. I did see that. But in order for me to see an actual full ongoing conversation, try and switch to the chat instead of the questions. We're going to use the question section for actual questions that I'm going to answer at the end of the night. So if we're just doing engaging conversation, or as you guys know I like to do, ask you guys to type something in order to make sure that you guys got the information or you're running along, I'm going to need that in the chat. So I see some of you guys are saying you're on your phone, and how do you do that from your phone? And that is a good question. You can't find the chat box. Okay. They can't find the chat box because you're on the phone. Okay, let me see if I can do a little trick here, you guys. I'm going to log in on the phone too and see if I can give you the answer to that. And then we're going to go ahead and get started, because if that's not going to work that way, then I know I need to kind of change my presentation just ever so slightly, which is fine. I know how to adapt within a moment's notice. I know QC is in the chat, so I know that they can write. So let me see here if I can tell you guys how to do this. Okay, it's logging me in. All right, let's see here. I see the, all right, it's got me in.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
It's going through. I'm in the same room. Okay, let's see. Sorry if you guys heard that loud noise. I was trying to log into my phone. Okay, so if you're on the phone, let me see how you can. Okay, you guys, I don't think you can do chat from the phone, only if you're on the computer. Because I'm on my phone too, and I just looked and I don't see anything. I see that you can, I see me, and I see where you can ask questions. These aren't even any questions. Okay. I wonder if it's setting. Let me log out of this so we don't have these issues. Let me see if there's a way to. Okay, so you guys, I think that's it. If you're on a computer, you should be able to see a chat window. If you're on your phone, I think all that is available is going to be the questions. So what I'm going to try and do is see if there's a way I can see everything you guys are saying. Okay, so I think I got it. Okay, so Nico, Amoy, Ashley, Leah, Danielle. Hey, Danielle, Nikki, Chelsea, Tammy. Okay, I see all your guys' comments in the questions. It looks like you guys can't use the chat. So no worries. We're not going to wait any longer to get this started because I know you guys are waiting for this information. That's just news for us to know going forward. I think the chat room only works if you're on the computer. Okay. So, hello to everyone whose name I just mentioned that I saw. So, hello, Danielle, Anna Marie Gordon, Tammy, Shantae, Danielle. Oh, I said Danielle again. Leah, Ashley, Kavon Brown. I hope I'm saying that right. Brielle, Nikki Jenkins, Shawnee Robinson, Chelsea Morrissey, Erica McClure, Alexandra Untel, Amoy Dunkley, Francesca, Alexandra and Marie. Okay, you guys are all coming in. So we've got about half the attendants who've signed up in here right now. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me make sure everyone says that they can hear me. Hello, I can see and hear. Yes, yes, yes. Everything is clear. Okay, perfect. Nikki from Tampa. Rebecca from Yakima, Washington. That's awesome. Toronto is in the house. Austria is in the house. I love it. Totem, Ontario, Canada. Awesome. Loud and clear. Perfect. Leah from Pasadena, California. Awesome. Okay. Hi, Athena. Nikisha here. Nikisha, I have a sister named Nikisha. Yay. Okay, your name is G. Okay, this is how we'll have to do it. We're going to do it from questions, you guys. So no worries if you can't use the chat box. I figured out how I can see the questions. And we can do it from here because I don't really need to see my face. I'd rather see what you guys are saying. So let's get started. Okay, you guys, welcome to How to Prepare Your Business for 2019 live webinar with me, Athena DeVonne with QC Event Planning School, one of the tutors. Yes, we have Washington in the house, Australia, San Francisco. Deneen, I did not see your name. So perfect. I can see you now. Well, I can't see you, but I can hear. Well, I can't see or hear you, but I see your name popped up. Toraya, is it Toria? Toraya means? Okay, you're here too. Okay, perfect, you guys. Let's get started. Here we go. So if you guys caught my pre-live, I would say, on Facebook Live that I did on Friday, then you should be prepared for tonight. So I went live for a few minutes letting you guys know, number one, we were not going to be on Facebook Live, and number two, that we were going to be on GoToWebinar, and that I wanted you to grab two tools. I wanted you to have a pen and a notebook, and not just any kind of notebook. I needed you to invest in your business and get yourself a really nice notebook. When I say invest, notebooks shouldn't cost you $100, $5 to $25, depending on the type of notebook that you're going to get. And not necessarily a planner that has a calendar in it. Those are good too, but I want you to have a blank notebook that you can write in. And I want to say thank you to the ladies who did respond to my request. I said, if you post a picture of the notebook that you got that you will be using for 2019, I would enter you into a giveaway. So I'm so excited about it. And so I have the names for the drawing for these 4 people, and I'm really, really excited about it. So if you, for some reason, were not able to catch my Facebook Live, it is okay. But what I'm going to tell you is, once you go through this webinar, you'll understand why I'm going to say you have to get a notebook. So let me show you guys mine. This is my notebook, which I consider my lifeline for my business for 2019. I have notebooks all over the place that I've been using since I myself was a student with QC Event Planning School, and took the courses while always keeping a notebook. I considered it like my planning Bible. Things that I learned from my tutor, things that I learned from the courses that I felt that I need to keep in my pocket, like that formulas that they give you and templates. I put it all in my notebook. So I would print things out and fold it and put it inside my notebook. I still have it. It's in my storage unit upstairs somewhere. The fiance put it up there somewhere. I'm still trying to find it 2 years later. But I keep getting a new one for each year. So what I do is on Christmas Day, I kind of made it a tradition for myself. On Christmas Day, I will go through my book for my business and kind of read it as a present to myself, and being able to know what I actually accomplished and learned throughout the year. Many of you guys, if you remember doing a diary or a journal when you were growing up, how you were able to go back to it and, oh my gosh, I went through this and this happened and this, because so much can happen in a year's time that sometimes you're going to forget the amazing things that happen to you, because amazing can be really small or it can be really large. And I want to make sure you guys focus and remember everything. Mentally, our minds are really good at remembering the negative, but I want you guys to remember the positive, because that's what keeps you moving and pushing. So if you don't have a notebook, don't worry about it. Grab some paper right now, whether it's the copy paper next to you or a little notebook or some scratch paper or your kids' construction paper, doesn't matter. But you're going to need it, okay? And this isn't because we're going to take notes. This time, we're actually going to do something, you guys. Because why? I want to put you in the practice. I said fraction. I made a new word. I want to put you in the practice of putting action to your goals. There's so many times we get these planners and these goal books and digital goals on our phones and tablets. And then 6 months later, we look at that and say, oh, we had that as a goal. And you've done absolutely nothing to get towards that goal. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. So I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. For those who do not have it, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go grab something to write with that should be a pen or something that's permanent. No pencils allowed. And I'll explain that later. No pencils allowed. Grab a pen. We give you 30 seconds to walk away from your phone or your computer and go grab what you need, because we're doing some writing in these notebooks today. Okay, so 30 seconds from now. Go. Who wants to play the music? You guys, my career is not in singing. Can you tell? Okay, I hope you guys are excited, because I'm excited. It's my favorite time of the year, business-wise. Okay, so I want you guys to put in the question section, since the chat isn't really working, put got it. If you're ready to go, put got it, right? Got it, got it, got it. Dan said got it. Leah said done it. Lovette said got it. Nikki said got it. Danielle said got it. Awesome. Shante, everyone. Okay, I can't. Wow, you guys are ready to go. I like this better than Facebook. There's no delay. Okay, you guys are ready to go. So let's go. Let's get started. Okay, so if you have your notebook, this is the first thing I want you to do, okay? I want you to dedicate the first 4 pages, okay, blank. So if you have your notebook, skip the first 4 pages. Or I should say the first 2 pages if your notebook has back-to-back pages. So if it's like a lined page on the front and lined on the back, then hold those 2 pages and go to the next one. Does that make sense? But if you can only write on one side, then skip 4 pages, okay? And that is going to be used, these 4 pages are going to be used for definitions. And you're probably wondering, why do you need 4 pages for definitions? Because throughout your whole year, you're going to learn a bunch of new stuff, and you're going to have to set yourself up with several new definitions. Because I'm going to tell you something you guys have never heard. Definitions is the success to goals. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Definitions are the success to goals. Now, what do I mean by that? I am going to show you an example of something I created for another project that I'm working on. Okay, and these are the 4 pages I'm talking about that I did on this one that I'm going to have you guys do in your notebook as the first 4. We're going to start working on page 5 tonight, but I'm going to have you save these 4 pages for that. But I'm going to show you an example of what I mean, okay? So one of the goals I have is time management, and I'm trying to see where my camera is. There it is time management. So I wrote it really big on the page and said time management, and then I Googled and went to Wikipedia and the Urban Dictionary and everything you can think of and wrote all the definitions I found for time management. Let me tell you why a definition is important. If you set a goal, but you don't really understand what it means, you can't succeed in it. So all day long, I can think I know what time management means, right? I can think I know what this means, and then go about it the way I think I should go about it. But I might not hit it in the most successful way I possibly can. Because I'll tell you right now, when I started defining what time management was, I was like, oh, no wonder I'm not getting really good at time management, because I'm going off of this and this and this. For example, time management, the first definition I came up with. Time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control of time spent on specific activities. Okay, so I wasn't doing that. What that means on specific activities is I never sat down and wrote down everything that I have that goes throughout the day and specified how much time each of those tasks took. So there's no way I can manage how much time I need for something if I don't know how much everything else in the time my day takes up, right? So long story short, we won't get into this one, But I just want you to know the importance of why you need to write your goal and the definition of your goal. So example, if your goal is advertising, define it. Find as many definitions as you can of marketing. If your goal is advertising, define it. If your goal is growth, define it. If your goal is starting a business, define business. Okay, so do you guys get that? Right? Yep, if you understand what I mean about the importance of definitions. So that's important before we even get into this whole thing. Yep, yep, yep. Some of you guys got it. Yep, 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 yep. Perfect. Okay, so why I said 4 pages. So you guys can see right here, this is the definitions in written form. And then I had some fun and I did a chart. You guys remember doing these brainstorm charts in elementary and middle school? They still work, you guys. Going back to the basics. So I have another page where I break it down into categories. So I broke my goal down into organize, economize, contribute, prioritize, and streamline. Those are the 5 categories I came up with for time management. And then the steps. So first I have definitions. Second, I have the categories. Next, I have the steps. Okay, I have 7 steps. I have another little pie chart. And then I have another little chart right here so you guys can see. Definitions was 1 page. And then I have 3 types of charts. We'll get into this later. I just want you guys to understand why you're saving these pages, okay? Here's 4 pages right here. So now let's jump into how you get to this point, like how you can create what I just created. So skip over those 4 pages. Now, once you skip over the pages, here we go, okay? Now you're going to start with the first page, which is your 5th page. So everybody quickly think about, and you probably have already thought about it before we started this, I want you to come up with 1 huge goal, okay? 1 huge goal. But as you're thinking about that, let me tell you the rules for this goal, okay? Because the reason these rules are in place is because this is where people make mistakes. So many of you guys have probably heard of the process called SMART, okay? S-M-A-R-T, SMART, okay? So this is what SMART means. Now write this on a separate sheet of paper in your notes, not in your notebook. Okay, so SMART, what it means, the S means to be specific, which I kind of mentioned already. Being specific. That means don't be general. Saying a goal of, let's see here, 1 big general one is, I want to be a name drop known planner. Okay, that's general. Let's get specific. You want to be the known best wedding planner in Dallas, Texas by this such and such date. Do you see the difference? I put the location. I want to be known as best, not just a name drop, and a deadline, right? Okay, so come up with a specific. S means specific, a specific goal. Then the M means measurable. Okay, you cannot set a goal that you cannot measure, because then how do you know if you ever reach the actual goal? You have to be able to measure it, okay? A is achievable. Okay, you guys, this is the biggest thing. I really want people who either haven't started their business yet, just started the business, or within 3 to 5 years of the business. A goal of saying that you want to be making $100,000 a year within just starting your business is not achievable realistically from jump. Is it an achievable goal? Absolutely. But be realistic with your goal, with what is within your means, okay? To make money, you have to spend money. Do you have $500,000 to invest in your business right now to make $1 million? If you don't put $1 million as your goal. Okay? Don't put $1 million to make if you don't have $500,000 to do. Does that make sense? Okay, reasonable means something that you know you can do within the means that you have, okay? If you know that you're currently a student at school and you're paying for student loans, it's unreasonable for you to feel like you can spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to get the top-notch everything just to start your business. It's unreasonable because you're still paying off your school and you have other things that you're doing. So don't compare yourself to what someone else is doing. Your goal should be your goal, no matter how small or big it is. Just make sure it's attainable for what you can actually do, okay? For what you can actually do. Does that make sense? Does anybody not understand what I mean by achievable? For you individually, achievable. Like if you're currently working a full-time job and you want to say that you want to, if you have a full-time job and you say you want your business to go full-time, that is an achievable goal if you're really working hard towards that. But if you are a full-time job right now and your goal is to be full-time with a complete staff, with a firm, with an office, with all these things that cost a little bit more planning, more time, more cost, more everything else, is that really achievable for you? You guys see what I'm saying? I hope I'm kind of getting clear as much as possible as I can. It's hard for me to think of unrealistic goals because I'm so used to thinking of realistic goals. That's just the way my brain works. Okay, Marquita says she got it. If you guys don't get it, just put a question mark and I'll see if I can kind of explain it a little bit more. Just put a question mark if you still don't understand what I mean by achievable. Okay, let's just move on for now though, okay? So we have S is specific, M is measurable, A is achievable, and now let's move on to R, which is relevant, okay? Relevant means that the goal should fit you and your business. So you can see all these things are married to each other. They all eventually are going to seem to be the exact same thing, which means goal, okay? That's what we're talking about here, goals. So you need to be specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant to you. You guys, if you're students with QC Event Planning School, you know that there's a lot that we talk about having your target client, okay? Your target client. That means whatever you're going to do with this goal needs to be relevant to your business and your target. I can give an example for this. If your target client is a mid-range, hardworking woman, we're going to talk as if we're doing weddings for a quick second, and then I'll give you one on the corporate event side. So if you're thinking mid-range, right, you are not going to want to spend a lot of money and invest your goal into things that are for luxury brides if that's not your goal. Okay? If it is to do DIY brides, then you don't want to be marketing to mid brides. If you're going for luxury brides, don't put your goals on small means that get you in marketing areas and sponsorships and areas that only DIY brides go to. Does that make sense? So it's very relevant and important that you set your goal to what's going to match you and your business. So if your goal is branding, it needs to match your personality. Okay, I have a loud voice. I'm energetic. I'm woohoo! So black and white don't match me for branding colors because like they're not vibrant like my personality is. Like I'm vibrant. So my colors needed to be bright and vibrant. For my brand, I love pearls. So everything had to have pearls everywhere, right? So I set relevant goals to make sure my brand matched my personality, okay? So that's what I mean by relevant. Whatever you do for your goals, make sure it matches you and your business, not something that you saw somebody else do that you think you should try. I am the first person to always tell you, you always have to, yes, look at other people and take what you can for them, but then decipher it into what you need to change and adjust for it to work for you, okay? So make sure it's relevant to your current business ideals, okay? And then the last letter T, okay? Last letter T. What do you guys think that means? I'll give you a hint. It kind of has to do with the goal that I told you I had at the very beginning that I gave an example of. Ah, Martina Williams, round of applause to you. And Nico, round of applause to you. Leah, round of applause to you. Time, absolutely. Deneen, yes, time, okay? So it is, you need to set a deadline. This is amazingly one of the biggest things people do not do when they set a goal. They don't set a deadline. Now, you guys, a deadline means a deadline means a deadline, means non-negotiable. Do not move it, cannot change it because you feel like it. That's the deadline. Here is the way to achieve a deadline. If you don't hit the deadline, it's okay. It means it did not work. Now reevaluate and see why it didn't work and set that as a goal again with restructuring it so you do hit it by the new deadline. Don't do a deadline that's due February 24th and then February 1st you say, oh shoot, I'm not close to this goal. I'm going to go ahead and push this goal back to March. No, because then you're only giving yourself 30 days to complete a goal that really should take 90 days because you set this back in December. So you really are doing yourself a disservice, okay? So time, set a deadline, okay? So I want to get over that first until we get into the fun part. So SMART, again, SMART goal, which means you're being specific. It's measurable. It's achievable. Okay, it's relevant. You guys can't hear? Can someone else not hear? Alexis says she can't hear. Can anyone else not hear me? I didn't change anything. I didn't press anything. You can hear, you can hear, you can hear, you can hear. Okay, Alexis, make sure that you've got everything plugged in right. Okay, everyone else can hear. Perfect. We'll keep moving around. So again, be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time. Yay, we got through that part. Now let's have some fun, you guys. Grab your notebooks and turn to page 5. Or if you only have paper, get the 5th sheet. QC, can you guys see if you can message Alexis and see if you can kind of help her figure out why she doesn't have any audio? Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going to show you my page 5. Isn't it pretty? Look what I did, guys. So this is what I want you to do. And you obviously don't have to get construction paper and make it all pretty like mine right now. I just did this because I really want to have something pretty to show you guys. So you're going to write your big goal that is SMART. SMART doesn't mean it has to be a small goal, you guys. Get that. A SMART goal can be a big goal if it's attainable and measurable and relevant to you and you know you can get it done. Put it. So my goal is to expand my company. Okay, so you guys see that? I put expand company. My goal is expand company. Now, here is something I'm going to tell you about how you can reach your goals, okay? So you set one annual goal. That's a big one, okay? Expanding my company is a big freaking deal, okay? It's a big deal. It takes a lot of moving and working parts to do that, okay? It's not as simple as just hire somebody. That's not the expansion I'm talking about. So I'm talking about expanding my company, which is a huge project. And when you set a goal to be done in a year, there's a couple of things that can happen. It cannot happen because you don't realize that you haven't done anything towards the goal till the last 30 days. It could seem too big, which causes you fear and hesitation to even get started. And setting a big goal a year out can open up the doors for you to talk yourself out of it. If you don't try what I'm about to tell you. So, have you guys ever heard that you can eat an elephant one bite at a time? And you can move a big heavy boulder 1 inch at a time till you get it past that part and then you're rolling? Okay, this is how you eat the elephant one bite at a time and push that boulder, okay? You break it down into 4 categories and each category will represent a quarter. Okay, you guys, we have to start thinking business. In business, they think by quarters. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So if you want to set your business up for success, think like a business owner. Yay, awesome, Alexis. I'm glad that it worked. Think like a business owner. So that's what my 4 circles represent. I can never find my camera, so sorry guys, it's not centered. That's what these 4 circles represent. is the 4 categories I need to do to complete my big 1-year goal, okay? So this is how we're gonna break down your goal so that this time next year, you're celebrating this big goal that you have. So I want you guys to take a second and write your big goal. Don't worry about the 4 categories yet. Write your big goal. So let me give you guys a minute. It is 5:36. At 5:37, I want you guys to think about it. If you already know what your big goal is, just quickly write what that one big goal is. So mine's expand company. What is yours? Is it branding? Is it marketing? Is it new pricing? What is it? Let me know what your big goal is. All right, Dan said find clients. Okay, so you want to get specific with that one, Dan, and say find target clients, because you can easily find clients tomorrow, but you want to find your target clients. So just add the word target clients, Dan. Gina said my first 3 clients. Okay, perfect. Gina, specifically say, no, Gina, you're start a business. Dan, find clients. I said do find target clients. Gina, start up your business. Yes, that's a good one. My first 3 clients. Nikki, what type of clients? Get specific. Branding, DeVonne, yes, branding's a huge one. It really is. So branding's a good one for an entire year. Marketing, yes, perfect. I want to go live with my business in 1 year from January 1st. Then, boom, Rebecca, perfect. Write launch business as your goal. Make my business official, which basically means you're wanting to get the contract, the legals, all that stuff. Perfect. Write that down. Make my business my full-time income. Perfect, which means you're trying to leave an existing full-time to this one. That is a big goal, and it can happen in a year. I did mine in 3 months, so it's doable. So yes, do put that in there. Branding, marketing. Okay, you guys, we have 30 seconds. Okay, 2 goals: get industry certifications and start a business. Okay, so for Deneen, that's all one goal: starting a business and starting it correct with that certification. So we'll put yours in a 2-part, but write the one goal is start a business. Okay. I have clientele. I just want to work on contracts for my event planning. Okay, Toria, make it bigger. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. You can have a business. What other big goal do you have other than just the contract? Think bigger. I'm challenging you. Think a little bigger. Lavette, launch business. Perfect. So most of you guys are launch and start the business. And I've seen branding and marketing. Perfect. Full time. Those are the most popular ones I'm seeing. Awesome. Solidify my business. Awesome. Become full time. Perfect. Yes. Open. Okay, Alexis, I think you meant open an event venue. That is huge. And I know exactly how to do it. I helped a friend do that. That is a big goal. That's a perfect goal. Great job. Attainable. You can do that in a year. To launch my business by the end of the 1st quarter. Perfect. Okay, build a 2nd vacation rental cabinet. Girl, Brenda, yes, for the big goal. You can do that. Land a high-profile nonprofit in Phoenix. That is, you guys, that is specific. Round of applause to Karshina. She was specific. She wants a high-profile nonprofit in Phoenix. Karshina, yes, you got it. You were specific. Awesome. Okay, now you guys, let's get to the point. We just missed our time. Okay, now that you guys have all written it down, let's break it down into 4s, okay? So when I say break it down into 4s, think of the things that you would need to do to complete that. And to give you an example, I'm going to break down my goals so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We're going to do this together, okay? So for me to expand my company, and you probably won't be able to see it because of the circles that I chose. I can see it. You probably can't see it, but I'll tell you what it says. So this green one says launch new intimate weddings. So I have a brand new scale service I'm going to do for intimate weddings. So that's what I wrote as one of the categories that have to do with me expanding my business, okay? A 2nd category I have is launch custom build department, okay? My fiance is moving home, and he is a carpenter on the side. He loves it, so he wants to start building backdrops and tables and centerpieces and all kinds of stuff out of wood, plastic, metal, and acrylic for my clients or anyone else. He wants to open up a custom build. So we're going to add that to my company, Coalesce Creations. That's a big deal. That's a whole other thing I've got to do while still running my business. So that's part of expanding my business. So that's a new service and a new department, okay? Then the other category I have is launch and announce new design warehouse. Some of you guys said that you're opening a venue. I'm kind of essentially doing the same thing as in getting a building, but I'm not opening it up for a new venue. I am looking to launch and announce my design warehouse. We are in the process of looking for land and building my own design warehouse where I'll have an office for me and my team and staff in the front, and then have a huge showroom. So it's going to be like a showroom / warehouse. So in the back is going to be the warehouse where all the stuff is going to be. But the showroom is going to be where we can start doing mock events and mock style designs and all those things for clients so they can see exactly what it would look like. So that is in the works, but it's going to take a while because we're looking for land currently. So I put launch, announce, new design warehouse, okay? And then the fourth part of it, to make sure I successfully launch my business, my other category is to evaluate, adjust, and celebrate, okay? So I'm going to evaluate the things I have done in the first 3 goals of the broken down. I'm going to make my adjustments, and then I'm going to celebrate the fact that I'm that close to completing my goal, okay? So let me give you guys some examples for yours. Some of you guys have branding, okay? So let me give you 4 categories that you can do for branding, okay? 1 is color choice. You could think that that's going to take a day or something, but let me tell you something. Your colors have to do more than just your colors. Once you choose your colors, you have to make everything consistent and cohesive around those colors. Means your business card, your collateral, your website, your social media profiles, your listings everywhere, the type of clothes that you wear, your documents when you have your meetings, when you go out, what you wear, when you do networking. Branding is a big deal. So colors can be one category all in itself, okay? Another thing with branding, and I'll give you 2 and you can think of the other 2. Another thing you can come out with is marketing. You need to research what marketing of your brand is going to attract your bride specifically, okay? And then somebody else said, am I losing comments here? See, I saw new comments and then it went away. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm hoping it'll still work. Okay. Are you guys still with me? Stay still with me if you guys can still hear and see, because I saw someone else who just said that you lost hearing. Okay, you guys are still with me. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here we go. So you guys have your goal. Now, I want you to break down your 4 categories. I gave 2 examples for branding. Let's see here. Something somebody else said was starting your business. That was a really popular one. So for starting your business, here are some good ones. Okay, the first goal would be behind back-end processes, okay? Your first goal should not be getting a client. That should not be your first goal. You're starting a business, the first goal you should have is getting your back-end processes in place, getting your contract drafted by a lawyer, not Google, you guys. I can't stress enough. Get your contract drafted with a lawyer. You'll get yourself in a heap of trouble if you don't do that. That's part of investing in your business. Get a legal contract. Get your certification. Get your business license if you have to have that in your state. Get it your name done. Get your name registered with the city. There's a lot of things you need to do. Get your CRM, the system you're going to use to communicate back and forth with your clients. Get your processes. Get your workflows. What are you going to do when the client first calls you? What's your next step? Once you meet with them, then what's the next step? Okay, so that is all within that first back-end processes, behind the scenes. That's your first category. There's a lot in that one, okay? That's the first one. Then the second one should be marketing and advertising. You can't get a client till you know how you're going to market and advertise to them, okay? So that's your second one. Now you think of third and 3. Okay, Nikisha thinks she has hers. Her number 1 is register my business name. 2, create my brand. 3, create my website. 4, advertise, market my business. Okay, so Nikisha, you're basically what I just said. Register my business should take like a day, right? So these categories, you guys, we're going to break up into 90-day goals. which is why there's 4 categories. Like I said earlier, right? Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So think bigger, you guys. Register my business is not going to take a quarter to do. So Nikisha, what you're going to do in that first one is what I just mentioned. All that back end stuff, okay? All those things. So that website and register your business are all going to go in quarter 1. That back end stuff I was talking about, okay? Creating your brand can be quarter 3, okay? Brand will be quarter 2. Let's move that. Do brand as your quarter 2, okay? And then the advertising and marketing quarter 3. Does that make sense? Does anyone else want to be bold and put what they think they broke theirs down to? I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to move on. Thank you, Nikisha, for doing that. I appreciate it. But you guys think a little bit bigger, okay? Because this is going to get us to that big goal that you have, okay? Because this time next year, I want this live to be about a live, online, big old party celebrating that you guys hit your goals. You're welcome, Nikisha. Okay, she said for marketing, Marquita wants to know how you can do for marketing. So for marketing, the very first quarter should really be researching your target client. If you really take the time to research your target client, that is a perfect quarter 1 goal. There's no point in just putting out a bunch of marketing and spending money when you don't need to, when you haven't really researched that. Take the time to really write out and profile who your target client is. That's step 1. Once you know that, what do they like to do? And we talked about this in another video. How do you figure out who your target client is? So once you know what areas they hang out in, what places they shop, food they like to eat, all those kinds of things, then you'll be able to start working out, okay, what areas do you need to market in? So first, you come with your target client. That's quarter 1. Number 2, then you come up with your marketing strategies. So if you know they're really into social media, then start coming up with your strategy and your content schedule in quarter 2. Quarter 3 is you blast it and you get it out there. You put out all the marketing. You put out all the areas of social media, print, ad, all the things you want to do. 4, 3, and then same thing like my goal. 4, evaluate it. Okay, adjust what you need to do. See what worked, what didn't. Whatever you're doing, you should be able to do measurable, like we talked about in SMART, and measure the analytics of what you're using, okay, of what you're using. And then adjust it, and then boom, in that last month of the year, you're like, oh my God, I made the adjustments, it worked, I hit my goal. Does that make sense? So you guys have to understand, if you take something that you think is simple, i.e. marketing, it's not that simple, which is why I told you guys from the beginning, define your goal. That's the first thing I told you guys. Define your goal, and you will realize it's not as simple. It's simple when you know what the definition is, because then you can definitely, boom, 100% check it off that you did it. But if you just go into it and say, oh, I just need to figure out marketing, and you just throw a bunch of stuff on social media and on a blog, and it gets you nowhere, that means you're missing something. So define it first. Not everybody is going to be very successful marketing on certain lead generation things if it doesn't work for you. Because if your client's not on there, why are you spending so much time there? It doesn't do anything for you, okay? So define. Okay, Marquita said networking, advertising, business cards. Marquita, remind what was your big goal? Because I like what you just said. Networking, number 1. Marquita, was yours to start a business? Your goal was marketing. Okay. So marketing is going to be kind of like what I just said. So marketing, you can't network until you know where you need to network. So first is totally defining your target audience. You guys, target audience is more than just coming with a profile that you want a corporate client or a bride client that makes this amount of money. They shop here, they do this and do this. Once you know those things, then you have to figure out, okay, how do I position myself? And is that what I really want? Because you could be thinking that you want a luxury bride. Do the research on what it's going to take to do a luxury bride. Are you up to par to handle that? If you're not, you need to change to what you're actually going to work with. Okay, that's a whole other ballgame. Destination weddings, luxury weddings, DIY brides, Fortune 500 corporates, churches, nonprofits, they all are totally different. So get specific, you guys. For those that want to do marketing and advertising, and starting your business, your quarter one should be figuring out your target client. That is what your entire business is based on, who your target is. When someone comes out with a product, they know what their target audience is. Let's use justfab.com because I was shopping there earlier. They know who their target client is. So they show up in ads in social places where their target client is going to be. Their shoes are $29.99. They're not advertising in mansions in huge places. That's not their client. Those people buy like $150, $175 shoes. For people my mid-range right here, I like them $29.99 shoes. So I see them ads all the time, and they get me every single time because I just bought 4 boots today. So when you hit your target client, you will have no worries on is my phone or email going to be going off because you're hitting it on point. So if you're doing marketing, advertising, or starting a business, that's your quarter one. You have got to figure out where you're headed before you can actually head anywhere. Okay, Erica McClure said, what about if you have started your business already, but need to solidify it? Meaning I have some stuff in order, such as LLC, processes, some branding, need to solidify everything. Okay, for you to say, Erica, to solidify, that means that you're unsure about something. You're hesitant about something because you're still having to figure something out. So first, identify what that thing is. What that thing is. So you can have your LLC. That's great. That's perfect. Round of applause to you. It means you've got your company name. You've got all that set. Great. You've got that back end part that I was talking about. So now your second step should be figure out exactly what you need that you don't have. Okay. Run yourself through a mock client. Okay. Imagine yourself if you were your own client. Okay. Are you a event and corporate, or are you weddings, Erica? So I know I'm answering this correctly. Okay, your event. So perfect. I'm glad I asked. Okay, so the first thing is, if you're doing events, are you doing corporate events like with businesses, or are you doing events like milestones, birthdays, renewal vows, milestones, 50th, 60th, 40th, family reunions, milestones? Okay, perfect. See, okay, great. Then that lets me know you kind of got to focus. Now that you're doing event planning for milestone events, perfect. It's your 30th birthday party. What is the first thought that comes to your mind? What's the first venue? Great, perfect. So do you have a list of all the possible venues that can hold an event? Do you have 30 venues in a database? Phone numbers, emails, pictures, pricing, all those things. Okay, so that's where you start, Erica. That's where you start. Perfect. Thanks for letting me know. So what you're going to do is your quarter one is going to be set up research. Okay, set up research. Because what you want to be able to do is if someone comes to you and says, I want my 50th birthday party, you need to have everything there, everything. Magic number is 30. So you need 30 venues, 30 caterers, 30 bakers, 30 this, 30 that. Why? Because you don't yet know what direction they're going in. Are they going for elegant? Are they going for rustic? Are they going for intimate? Are they going for out of town? Are they going for a boat? Are they going for a hangar? Are they going for eclectic? Are they going for unique? There's 8 right there, and then there's probably about 10 different styles of each one. There's 80. Do you see what I'm saying? So you need about 30, okay? So for you, Erica, what I want you to do is congratulations. First, congratulate yourself on where you've gotten, okay? Now, quarter one is going to be defining specifically your process. If you were having an event, what are all the elements that you want? Then prepare all of those elements into a database and information base. So when you get that exact client that you want, you are ready to go. Because if you only have 15, you're going to run through those 15, and then what are you going to have to do? Go back and research, which means that you're now using up time with your client that you wouldn't have had to do. So get your database up front, your vendor database, your venue database, your materials and suppliers database. So your quarter one is going to be research and databases. Okay, that's going to be quarter one. And then quarter two can be, because you've already started, quarter two, because you said, what else did you say? Processes. Quarter two, what is your communication going to be like? Do you have your business email set up? I don't mean at Gmail, at Yahoo, at AOL. Do you have at business name? Okay. Do you have a CRM in place? Have you figured out your invoices? Did you get your contract? Are you doing it digitally or are you doing it paper-wise? Okay, so this is what I mean, you guys, about SMART. Getting specific You can say processes, that's journal. What exact process do you need, okay? So I hope I gave you guys some really good examples to get you guys thinking. I don't want to run out of time because I see that we are. So I'm going to keep going. So you guys are going to get your paper. You're going to write your big goal right here in the middle, okay? And then you're going to do your 4 categories, okay? Your 4 categories, okay? Once you do your 4 categories, okay, you're going to break each category down, like I said, into the quarter, which means you're going to give yourself 90 days. You guys, if you want to write this down, you can write it down. If not, then don't worry about it. Keep it in memory. This is how I live my motto. Okay. It takes 30 days to create a habit. It's just a habit, right? That come and go, right? But to do something, you need to do it for 60 days. So it takes 30 days to build a habit, 60 days to make it consistent. How many times you guys set that goal that you're going to lose weight, you're going to give yourself 30 days, and you don't like the results that you got, so you quit? Okay, literacy, like, yes. Say yes. I've done that. I'm hitting the gym hard. I'm going for this. I'm losing 15 pounds. I'm going to give myself 30 days to do this. And you see no results in 30 days. And so you say, this isn't working. And you quit and you go try something totally different. Come on, you guys. You go from working hard in the gym to, oh, well, maybe I'll change my diet. Or maybe I'll go do, what's that thing they have now? Keto. Or I'll try this. I don't even remember the names. There's just like 1,000 things you can do, right? But you give you guys 30 days and you quit. Exactly. Don't do that to your business, okay? So this is why I'm telling you guys to do 90-day goals. It's really important. So I'm going to take now launch. You're going to take your quarter 1. So mine would be launch new intimate weddings. I'm going to break it down into 90 days. That's one goal. So I'm focusing on one thing for 90 days. 30 days is going to make it a habit. Then I'm going to be focused. I'm going to get going because you guys know the first 2 weeks is going to be hard for you to even think about it. You're going to come with 3 days. We're going to go hard in thought and process, and then you're going to get overwhelmed, and you're like, oh, I'm going to step back away for it, and then I'm going to come back. You've already spent 2 weeks just doing that part, so it's unfair to tell yourself 30 days for something, okay? So 30 days to make it a habit that you out of 30 days, maybe, 17, you really did it. So then 60 days makes it consistent. By 60 days, it is a habit. You can do it. 30 out of 30 days, you've got it. Because the first 30 days was, and then the next 30 is, nope, I know how to do it. I'm running, right? And then 90 days, it becomes like second nature. It's not even hard work anymore. You don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just natural. It's just your process. It's just what you do. Do you guys get it now? Got it. Say got it if you got it. Okay? So got it. Perfect. So it takes 90 days, you guys. 90 days, which is why this all coming first full circle. You wrote your one SMART goal. You broke it down into 4 quarters, which means each 4 categories is going to be done in 90 days. So if instead of focusing on this huge goal, getting yourself so overwhelmed, break it down into a quarter. Then instead of saying, oh my God, I have all these things to do. I got a brand, I got a market, I got to advertise. Slowly roll. Start with just quarter 1. The other ones are coming. They're coming. You'll probably even dabble in a little bit while you're going. Don't worry about it. You don't need to rush. Okay? When people ask me how in the world did I become as successful as I have, and quickly, when I say successful, remember in one of my webinars, I said your definition of success. I said it before. Y'all, I started my business off $283.63. Almost 6 years ago today. That's how much I started it. I now profit. This is after all businesses are paid, all personal expenses are paid, money I can just spend. I now profit $60,000 a year in 6 years. 60,000. 60,000. That's a huge number. I'm going to congratulate myself. Don't ever be scared to congratulate yourself. You guys, don't ever be scared. But how did I get there? I did this process. It works. It works. Okay? Nico said, but don't you think training and getting certificates will take more than 90 days? No. Nico, I'll use QC Event Planning School as an example. They give you 3 years to finish because they understand that life and things happen. But if you are focused on that one thing, instead of you focusing on, I'm going to get my certification and I'm also going to get a degree in school and I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to get this, then you're focusing on too many things at one time. And yes, it will take you more than 90 days, right? But if your focus is just the course, yes, you can possibly complete it in 90 days. But if you don't have to make that quarter one. Certification can be quarter one and quarter two. Okay? It's like I said, you have to make it manageable and achievable for you. If your life is where you cannot focus one whole day every single week, going back to what I said about SMART, what's relevant for you where you are. If you can't 100% focus on something every single day, you need to measure it out, okay? So if your goal is to get certification and you know you can't get that done in 90 days, perfect. Make that quarter one and quarter two. Nothing wrong with that. You guys, quit feeling you have to have a rush. Okay, success is not to people that are in a rush and quick. It's those that, okay, have you guys ever heard the story, Tortoise and the Hare? Have you guys heard the story, Tortoise and the Hare? Who won that story? The turtle. Nico, you've never heard the turtle? The tortoise and the hare? Nico, you haven't heard that story? Nico, Google tortoise and the hare story. You've got to, that's going to answer your question. It doesn't matter how quick or slow you get to your goal. The point is that you get to your goal. There's so many illustrations for this. Have you guys seen the illustration where there's two guys digging for a diamond? And one was going so fast but decided to quit and start going the other way. And the other person is just diligently with the smaller tool working towards it, and they're this close to it. So this is what I mean by you guys not comparing yourself to somebody else. Just because this person finished their certification in 90 days doesn't mean that they're better or faster or can move faster than you because you decided to take 6 months. There are some people who took an entire 3 years to finish, but they finished. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to, because you can have 30 goals right now that you've had for 3 years that you have never completed. But if you do this structure, you will complete one. So if you've had 30 goals for 3 years that you've never completed, wouldn't it be a benefit to have one goal and in 1 year you completed it? Now, is every goal going to take you a year? No, because once you get in this train of thought, you can take that one goal a year to 2 goals a year. Then when you successfully do 2 goals a year, you can make the 2 goals a year to 3 goals a year. I'm not about to overwhelm you guys saying get 6 huge goals and then use this process and you're like, this don't work. This is your first time using this process, start with one major goal. And if you finish that major goal, great. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Okay, does that make sense? I hope you guys understand that. Yvonne says, can we review the 4 quarters? Okay, so the quarters is up to you, okay? The 4 quarters depends on what your goal is and then what 4 categories you want to break it down to, okay? And I use myself as an example. And hopefully, Yvonne, this answers your question for you. But expand company is my goal, and I broke it down into 4 categories. So one category was the way I'm going to expand my company is through launching a new service, which was intimate weddings. And another way of expanding it was through building a custom department and a custom build department. And then the other one was to open up my new design warehouse. So those were 3 categories that all have to do with my big goal of expanding my business, okay? And then in quarter 4, I'm using that quarter to evaluate, adjust what I've done in these 3 quarters, what worked, what did not work, what did I not complete, what do I need to finish, and then using the last, 30 days or so to celebrate what I did and how I hit my goal. So that's how I broke down my 4. But you have to go with what is relevant to what you can do, okay? If you are crazy busy in your current life, don't set a goal for 30 days that you know is going to take you 90. If you know it's going to take you 6 months, don't set a goal for 90 days. Set it for 6 months. It is okay to have quarter 1 and quarter 2 match. You can put a few extra things here and there, but you can do that, okay? Okay, perfect. Tammy, okay, thanks, Tammy. How important would you say to get certified? Also, as a new wedding planner, what class would you recommend taking? Okay, I'm going to get to your question, Danielle, so give me one quick second. I'm going to go back to my outline and make sure I hit everything. So you guys have got the structure and you can put this straight into action. Great. So we went over setting the goals of being smart. Okay, we went over creating the plan for your goal. Perfect. Okay. So now let's talk about, okay, this is really, really, really important, and then I'll get to you guys' questions, okay? And Danielle, I'm not going to forget what your question is because I have an answer. The next thing you're going to do is keeping yourself accountable. Yvette said, I think one of the hardest things, or the thing that would get person stuck in goal setting, is charging and setting up price lists. Even with looking around at neighboring planners, the question arises is, I don't have the same experience. Lavette, did you see my video on how to set your pricing with QC, the webinar? If you haven't, go look at that because I talk about that. Your pricing has like this much to do with your experience, like that much. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but like Lavette, maybe I'll see if I can answer your question separately, and I'll get back to you because the thing on pricing is a whole other ball game, and that can be an entire 90-day quarter because it's got a lot to it. But if you didn't see my webinar, go back to Facebook. It should be on there. Yes, you watched it. Okay, great. Then you should know, like, your experience had about this much to do with it. Like when you're gonna set goal as, if you're gonna set pricing as your goal, then go through that formula I was talking about. Add up all your expenses and your personal and this and all. Do that exact formula. You'll have your price. Like you'll know exactly what you need to price. So you shouldn't have a hang up when it comes to that. There's always a hang up when you start comparing your pricing to the next wedding planner next door. And that's why I said people don't do that. That's where people get that hang up because they see that this planner is charging $5,000 and you're charging this. So you've got it. You can't do that. You absolutely cannot compare. Do you need to stay competitive? Yes. Do you need to match it to your market? Yes. But that's all part of figuring out your pricing. It's got nothing to do with that other person. Okay, so let's get to this last part and then we'll get to the questions. So keeping yourself accountable. Let's talk about you guys because you can have this notebook all day and it's pretty and you're writing in it and you're carrying it yourself. But how do you keep yourself accountable? Now, what do I mean by keeping yourself accountable? Okay, so you reflect on your quarter. Okay, did you have an accountability partner working with you? Okay, did you just write it down and then set it down and you never went back to it? Okay, so that goes back to that time element we were talking about. Set yourself a deadline. One deadline we have is Q1 needs to be done by Q1. The goal that you have. If Q1 and 2 are the same, then you got till Q2 to get it done. Okay, so by Q1, you should see yourself about really deep in, halfway through that goal that's going to take 6 months. If it's going to take you that 90 days, check it. Are you there? Are you on point? Okay. So one good thing to use is if you guys have a calendar. Okay, you can now that you've broken 1 year down into 4 sets of 90 days. And now you have the 90 days, do the same thing. How did you break it down from a year down to 90 days? Do the same thing. Break that 90 days down into 3 things that you can do for 30 days. Because what did I say? 30 days, build a habit. 60 days makes it consistent. 90 days makes it second nature. So if my first goal is launch new intimate weddings, okay, so then what I'm going to do, my first 30 goals is to figure out what the heck I mean by launch intimate weddings, right? What do I want it to include? What should it cost? What are the vendors going to cost me to do this? So that's what I'm going to do in the first 30 days. Finding the vendors I'm going to use for this because that's going to be very specific and specific vendors. So that's what I'm doing the first 30 days. And then the second 30 days, I'm keeping up with the first days that I had, and I'm talking and I'm keeping in mind now I'm contacting those vendors I had. So when I figured out who they are, now I'm contacting them in my next 30 days. I'm saying I'm sending them proposals. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. This is what's going to cost. This is this. This is this. Are you in, right? So now I'm still in the habit of my original 30 days, which is what's going to be included. Now I'm going to try and insert and solidify these by contacting the vendors and getting signed on a contract. And the next 90 days is going to be, okay, now I need to figure out the marketing. I know what's going to be included. I know what the price is going to be. I know who my target audience is. So now I'm all set to put out the marketing for it. Now, I already have my marketing in place that I've been using for years, so I know exactly how I want to market it. So that's why my goals are this way. So boom, by Q3, I'm now marketing this new service that I want. Now I'm moving on to my next one. So then my next goal is going to be launching my custom build. So then that's sitting down with my fiance saying, great, what do you want to build? How much is it going to take? How much space do we need to have to hold this stuff? What's this? What's that? And once I figure out that research part in the first 30 days, then the second day is gonna be, okay, now we're gonna go get the things, and now we're gonna go do this, and then whoop, now I'm marketing it in the next 30. Does that make sense? So take that 90 days and break it down into 3 bullet points, and each one you're gonna focus on for 30 days. Say got it if you guys got it. Did you guys get that? Got it, 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 got it. Okay, you guys, so that was a mouthful, but let me give you guys some tricks on how to keep yourself accountable, okay? Other than breaking it down to 30 days. You use use a calendar. I think most people have Google Calendar, but if you don't, get yourself a task list system and put a deadline to it. So if my third one is research, I'm gonna put research on blah, 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 and then I'm gonna put a deadline. And usually when you use a time masking thing or something like Google has this thing called GQs, where it allows you to set a goal and then sub things that need to happen. I can set reminders for each one of those things. Okay, like I can set a reminder for each one of those things, like this one needs to be done by this time, and this one by this one. And it alerts me on my phone that you've got this due, and this due, and that due, and it keeps me focused. Because if I just write it in this notebook and I go set this notebook down on my bookshelf and I don't pick it up, am I holding myself accountable? No. No. So one way I keep myself accountable is, that's why I told you guys to get something that is inspirational to you. Don't get a boring spiral notebook. Get something that's pretty, that makes you want to carry it around. So I take this with me literally everywhere I go, because the bag I carry for my business is a big tote bag. It's purple. It's really cute. It's got pearls on it. So I take this with me, and I write notes and things that I think of along the way that have to do with my goal. It all goes in here, so everything that keeps in place, okay? So all the vendors, you guys, I'm doing this with you. This is a blank notebook. Look, it's blank. It's brand new. I'm doing a brand new 2019 with you, okay? And I'll check with QC. I'll see if every now and then I can put a post on Facebook that shows you guys like how I'm doing it, and maybe check in with you guys. Maybe we can do that on the Facebook event page or something like that. And I'll show you guys, hey, look, this is what I did here to kind of help you guys along the way. I have no problem doing that. So I'm starting where you guys are starting. I haven't done anything past this. Look, because I'm going to do it with you guys. I just want you guys to see I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you to do, because I know it works, and I'm going to do it with you. So I'm going to start off by breaking down my quarter one. And so in the next several pages, I'm going to be writing what my ideas are. I'm going to be brainstorming. I'm going to color things. I'm going to staple and attach things that I saw, bouquets I like, all those kinds of things. It's kind of like my brainstorming and researching what I want to get included. So another thing you can do other than the calendar is get an accountability partner. You guys, Facebook event page is huge. If you're a student with QC, you have that forum. Go in there and see who has the same goal as you. And then you guys work together. Maybe you guys can set the same quarter goals and work with each other as you go along. Accountability partners are perfect. I've been running my business successfully for 6 years. I have an accountability partner. I have 3. We're together in a group chat, and we talk almost on the daily, sharing each other what the goals are. I had someone to me today saying, did you get your webinar ready for tonight? I was like, yes, but I need to do this. It was a good reminder. So a calendar is one good way to do it. An accountability partner is a really good way to do it. Let's see here. What note did I have? And then what I would do is another good reminder to kind of check yourself is that in that last week of the last 90 days, create a checklist for yourself, like a little spreadsheet that, you can check to see how much time were you really spending on this goal? And did you reach the goal? If you didn't, what went wrong with it, and what can you redo? Like I told you guys earlier, if you set a quarter one goal, you just couldn't hit it, great. Set it for quarter two. Don't kick yourself. Don't feel bad for yourself, because what did you do? You learned what did not work, and you can reevaluate it and adjust it so it will work for quarter two, right? So it's perfectly fine. It's okay if you don't hit this is the first time getting through something, okay? So you need to have accountability with this, you guys. You will not reach your big goal if you don't get accountability measures in place to make sure you have it set to go. So the way I'm getting mine done is, number 1, I'm carrying this notebook everywhere. Number 2, I have reminders set in my GQs and in my Google Calendar on when I want certain things done. So I've pre-done my calendar for the month, and I put tasks in on certain days. So I've dedicated my Mondays, because Mondays I'm off from my business. So I've dedicated my Mondays to be my go out days, where I go out and meet with vendors that I want to use, or I go out to get my inspirations, or go out to do something else. So that's what I'm going to do. So I scheduled Mondays that way. And then I scheduled, 2 out of the days of the week, I'm going to dedicate an hour. So create a schedule for yourself, a spreadsheet, different things like that. Did you do that this week? Did you do this week? Google weekly planners. Google has so many templates you guys can look up for weekly planners and adjust it all to your 90-day goal. And it'll get done, okay? So let me make sure. I went over the setting the goals real quick. SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, okay? You want to break one big goal down into 4 quarters, and then those 90 days, break it down, okay? And then you want to keep yourself accountable. Get an accounting partner, or put it in a calendar, or set yourself digital reminders. Whatever works for you, that's what you want to make sure you do, okay? Did you guys get all that? Say, yep, got it, if you got it. I hope so. It was a lot of information, but I wanted to make sure I got it as much as possible. Got it? Thank you, Lavette, for saying very clear. I tried so hard to make sure that this is clear, so you guys don't leave saying, I don't understand what just happened. Chelsea, thank you so much. This was amazing. That is my whole point. I just want to make sure this was useful and you guys had something to actually put action to. It's one thing to watch something and take notes, and then you don't know what to do with it. I wanted to give you an actual plan, and I will have a conversation with QC to see how I can kind of help you with this one project of goal setting throughout the year, whether it's just a regular little post that I just put on the page saying, hey, you guys, check out my page, or something. We'll see. I'll work with QC, see what we can do. Nico said, got it, being a new mom, this is helpful to balancing my career with personal life. I was a single mom of 2 kids, one with special needs, so I totally understand. That was Rebecca who said that. Sorry, Nico, it wasn't you, it was Rebecca. Polita, this was great information. Okay, great. Now let me go back and answer that question that I saw, because I want to make sure I do that. Danielle had a question. Okay, so really quick, I'm going to answer Danielle's question. So Danielle's question was, how important do I feel it is to get certified? And I'm going to, she said, how important would you say to get certified? Also, as a new planner, what class would you recommend taking at QC Event Planning School? Okay, so how important would I say getting certified is? Okay, I'm going to put it this way, and this is I'm going to try and do this in the most delicate way I can as possible. Would you buy a bike for someone who just figured out how to do it and they didn't get educated on dangers or anything they had to do? Or would you buy a bike from someone who researched the parts and the pieces and they understood how they correlated and worked with each other and why the bike was safe? Would you buy the bike from this person for $10 less? Or would you buy it from this person for $5 more, and because they had way more information? I'd buy it from the person who knew what the heck they were doing, that could explain to me what the heck it was, right? So certification is not about a certificate, okay? Let's get this straight. Certification is about the continual education. When you get a course completed with QC Event Planning School, it does not end at the course, okay? You can still be part of the student forum. You can still contact QC Event Planning School. You can still reach out to your tutors. I'm 6 years past my business, and I still reach out to QC Event Planning School. I still have my student login. I still check in and see how people are doing, so I know what the heck I should be saying in my stuff, in my forums, my webinars. It's a continual thing. You guys, 6 years later, I started my business while I was taking my certification course, and 6 years later, I'm successful. I still love QC Event Planning School. They're a huge, huge support to my business. The certification is for your education. It's for community, okay? It's for your confidence. That is huge, because your confidence sells your value, okay? If I have education that I know I have for myself, the certification is not for you. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The certification is not for your clients. It is for you, okay? A lot of people say that they didn't get certification because they've never had anyone ask them if they were certified. It is not about if someone has asked you if you're certified or not. But wouldn't you want to say yes if somebody asks you if you are certified? wouldn't you want to be able to say yes? I would. I don't like saying the word no. So if someone asked me, did I get training for this? I would love to be able to say yes. If somebody said, are you certified? I would love to be able to say yes. If someone would say, what kind of experience do you have? I would love to be able to say, I have experience in the study of, and then list all the topics of what I studied with QC Event Planning School, because I'm telling the truth. I have experience researching and studying timelines, databases, vendor relationships, and all the things you are going to need for me to plan your wedding. Have you guys ever heard of transferable credits? Don't they tell you in that school when you're in high school that all the things that you learn in high school you use to put on your resume as transferable credits and skill sets that you have? Exact same thing, you guys. Exact same thing. That's a whole other webinar. So yes, do I think certification is important? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's for the education. I was able to start my business with QC Event Planning. Start my business because of QC Event Planning School, because of the education that I got, that I still use. To this day, I still use the formulas and the templates. The budget template they use, I still use to today. I didn't get anything new. I use that particular one. They give you some information on cultures and different things like that. I've had 3 Nigerian weddings, and it's because I got help from QC Event Planning School. So absolutely. Is it important? Absolutely. Because it's education. When is education not important? That's what I'm going to say about that. And then you said, which courses should you take from QC? That's definitely really a personal choice. When I took courses when QC first started out, they didn't have all the courses they have now, so I'm rather jealous of you guys. Like, I'm really jealous. They didn't have destination planning, luxury planning, accelerate your business, all these awesome things that they have right now. So you would need to decide what you want to do. If you only want to do weddings, take the wedding planning. If you only want to do events, take the event planning. If you're not sure yet, take event and weddings, and then maybe you'll know from that. If you are really interested in destination weddings, sign up for destination weddings. If you know for sure you can handle a luxury client and all the things that come with that, sign up with the luxury event planning. If you don't plan on ever doing luxury event planning, don't get it. But if you are, get that. If you're serious about starting your business, I highly recommend Accelerate Your Business, because all these questions you guys are asking me right now is exactly what the course goes through. Every single step that you guys these questions are asking: how do I start? How do I figure out my pricing? How do I figure out my brand? How do I figure out my social media marketing? How do I do this? That's exactly what the course is about. So accelerate your business. If you're ready to start your business, go with it. If you're taking the certification now, but you're not ready to start your business, then maybe you can wait. But if you're ready to start your business right now, then sign up for Accelerate Your Business, okay? The other question said, just starting out, how much hours would you say a wedding takes or a milestone event takes from conception to completion? That again would also take can mean on your resources. In your experience, an average wedding can take anywhere from 80 to 223 hours. But you can't really base it on that, because if a wedding is 18 months out, but another wedding is 3 months out, well, you don't have 222 hours to dedicate to an event that's 4 months out. So it really just depends on how much time you have. And that is what you have to decide on your target client. Like, you have to decide, are you going to take clients that have events that are within their 30 days? And if you are, you need to make sure you have the resource to be able to get it done in 30 days. Are you going to take clients that need, that are way 2 years out? Like, right now we're going into 2019, so we're booking for 2019 and 2020. But I'm not going to book any brides that are in 2021. Why? Because I know my services might be different by then. My pricing will definitely be different by then. So no, I don't take anyone that plans past 18 months. That's me, but I've decided what I want. You might do that. You might do that. So it's really you figuring out what your target services and clients are, so you know how much time that it takes. Or put yourself through a mock event. Put yourself through a mock event. If you want to do someone's baby shower, plan one. Do your own case study. How much time did it take you to research a venue? How much time did it take you to contact vendors? How much time did it take you to do this? Do a case study on planning out an event in full. And then they'll tell you, boom, it took me 2 hours to do this. It took me 3 hours to do this. It took me 30 minutes to do this. It took me this. Put yourself through as a client. It's very easy to do that. Think in your mind that you're doing this event. Plan it out. And then, boom, you can get your tasks and your time. And then you know exactly what to do. Does that make sense? Okay, the other question is from Rosalind. If you've taken the EC course years ago but never got state certified or certified through ISS, how can you now get certified? I'm going to let QC answer that one. because I don't want to see anything wrong. And it looks like they did answer that one. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. Rosalind, make sure you contact QC Event and Planning School, because that is definitely what they can answer for you in much more detail. I want to make sure I didn't miss another question. Super useful. I'm a single mom with 2 kids, so great to know it's doable. Absolutely doable, Nene. This is really going to help me. It has been very hard having a daughter. Nikki, I understand the experience, 1 for $5 more. Exactly. Okay, yes, Nikki, yes, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Let's see here. I think I got everyone, because we're out of time now. I'm just scrolling back, you guys, real quick to see if I miss. I hate missing your guys' questions. So I want to make sure that I get it in. And some people had to go. Okay. The other one was, do you have examples or templates of contracts to sign vendors and venues? Do you have examples or templates of contracts to sign vendors and venues? When you say to sign vendors and venues, you mean if they're signing a contract with you? Nikisha, ask that question one more time if you're still here. I don't understand what you mean. You have example templates. There are templates and examples of RFPs, which are requests for proposals, in the courses with QC Event Planning School. So if that's what you mean, then yes, there's examples and templates. But when you say contract, here's the thing, you guys. I need you guys to understand this, and I'll make this clear. You should never copy somebody else's contract. And I'm trying to do this without a smile, because I'm so serious. You should never, ever copy somebody else's contract. I don't care if they're a wedding planner down the street. What you need to protect you is totally different. I'll give an example. I have things in my contract. You guys, I am highly, 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 highly allergic to dogs, smoke, and cats. So if I have a bride that wants dogs or cats to walk down their aisle for them, in my contract it says that I am allowed to replace myself with one of my high-end dedicated planners. I will not be walking those dogs down or getting them in the line or anything, because I'm not going to end up in the hospital for your wedding. Okay? But you're not allergic to dogs, so how are you going to justify that in your contract if you took my contract and you copied it? Okay? Some people have some behavior clauses in there, what they will tolerate and what they won't tolerate. It might not be what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate. You get a contract with somebody who's in New York and you're in Texas. There are different state laws. So don't ever copy somebody else's contract. That's why in the very beginning I said, you have to invest in your business and get a contract drafted with a lawyer. So it doesn't do any good to Google a contract. Because you've got to have it legally done. You will get in big trouble. Nikisha said, okay, a guideline. Okay, so you can, there, contracts are very difficult to talk about, you guys, because it's so attached to legal, and I don't want to say anything incorrect. So I'm going to say what I know I'm allowed to say, and I'm going to preface it that way, because whenever it gets into contracts, it starts talking really legal stuff, and I don't want to get in trouble or get you in the wrong direction. I really, 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 really would contact a lawyer. You can contact a lawyer for a 30-minute consultation and get the guidelines that you're wanting. And sometimes it's free, sometimes it's $10, sometimes it's $30. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Because you have to know what you're needing. They'll tell you the basic stuff that you need to have in your contract. You could probably also Google some things, but I am not a fan of contracts through Google. There is a person by the name of Annette Stevenson, and I'll put it in the, let me see, can I put that in here? Let me see if I can type it. Annette Stevenson is a lawyer for the creatives. So she is a lawyer for, and she has templates and examples that you could use on specific things. But if you are signed up, Nikisha, for QC Event Planning School, then you'll get that in your, you'll get guidelines and ideas in your coursework, especially if you're doing the Accelerate Your Business program. So I hope I answered that for you, Nikisha. My hands are kind of tight on that one, so I really kind of wanna, but I gotta stay safe when it gets to that. This is my first webinar. Where can I find your precious webinars so I can look at the few topics you've mentioned? Looks like QC answered that one. Okay, Nikisha, I answered your question perfect. Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry if I didn't get to your question. I think we switched to this system so we can go back and see what was answered and what was not answered, so we can get them answered. Thank you guys for hanging there with me. I know this was really long, but I wanted to make sure I got your answers question and all the information out. I will talk with you guys next time, which I believe is next month, so stay tuned. It looked like this one worked. Please do send QC Event Planning School your feedback on this forum. You guys know we switched from Facebook Live events to this one. Please let us know your likes, your cons, because we really do want to figure out what's going to work best for you guys. So thank you guys so much. Before you leave, make sure you check the section in the chat, because that is where they have the special that's going on. Let me go ahead and just read it for those that can't access the chat. What the special is going to be. Okay, so we have a special promotion going on right now until December 31st. You can receive your choice of a specialization course for free. Zero dinero, you guys, for free. When you enroll in one foundation course plus one advanced course, and that advanced course will be 50% off, then you can get a specialization course for free, okay? So you sign up for a foundation course, you get an advanced course for 50% off, and then you get the free specialization course. So I'm going to say that. I wanted to say that in case some people couldn't get it. So you can sign up for that by going to QC Event Planning School. Let them know that you watched live webinar with Athena and DeVonne, and they will make sure you get that special going. So I want to make sure I got that out there before you guys left. Awesome. I'm great that you guys enjoy this. Yeah. You got yours for free, Deneen? Woo! Tell them you want me to be your tutor. I'd love to work with you, Deneen. Okay, you guys. Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. See y'all next month. Bye. Okay, this is something to learn. How do I end the thing? I'm saying bye to you guys, but now I'm trying to figure out how do I end it. All right, let's see. This is the joys of learning new things.